Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are tackling a topic many of you have been asking about: how to ace your Excel interview as a beginner. Microsoft Excel is an essential tool in many office professions and a must-have skill for businesses worldwide. In this video, I will present a curated list of top 10 Excel interview questions for most likely to be asked during an interview. The questions are explained in detail with practical examples that will help you confidently answer these questions and impress your interviewer. Let's get started. Question number 1. What is the syntax and use of VLOOKUP function? The answer could be: VLOOKUP is a function in Excel used to search for a value in the first column of a table and return a value in the same row for a specified column. The syntax is VLOOKUP, lookup value, table array, column index number, and then the optional range lookup. And how we can set up on this sheet: here you can see we have the employee IDs, name, departments, and salary. And if I want to get the department on the basis of the employee ID, I can use this function. So here in this cell, I will write equal VLOOKUP. First, I have to select the lookup value that will be presented in this F2 cell. So I will select this cell. After this, I will write comma, and then I have to select the table array. So I will select all this table. Again comma, column index number, because I am going to search for the departments and department is present in the third column. So I will write 3. Again comma, and for the exact match I will write false. Close this bracket and press enter. Second question: what is the difference between absolute reference and the relative cell reference? This question is asked to check for your understanding of writing formulas in Excel. Here's what you can say. Relative cell reference change when a formula is copied to another cell, while absolute cell reference remains constant. So here you can see in this example, we have the numbers in the column A and number in column B. And if I write this formula and multiply these two numbers, we get the answer 50. Now if I copied this cell to down, you can see that the answer is 0, because as I go down, the cell reference is changed from A2 to A3 into B3. So if I want to fix B2 cell in this cell as I copied it to down, I have to change this B2 as an absolute cell reference, and I can do this with the short key F4. Now if I hit enter and then copy this formula to down, you can see this: the number 5 is constant in all these formulas. What is pivot table and when you should use it? A pivot table is a powerful Excel tool used to summarize, analyze, and present large data sets. It allows you to quickly recognize and group data to gain insights. You would use a pivot table when you need to analyze complex data, create reports, or identify trends and patterns efficiently. To insert the pivot table using this data, I will go to this insert function and then click this pivot table. From the table range, I'll select this table range, and here I can select the new worksheet or the existing worksheet. So I will click this new worksheet and click OK. I have to set the pivot table fields. First I will check this region, and then I will put product to the columns and the sales amount to the values. So here you can see that I can visualize the area wise report of the sales from all the regions for different products. What is conditional? Conditional formatting in Excel is a feature that allows you to apply specific formatting to cells that meet certain criteria. It's useful for highlighting important data, identifying trends, and making your data more visually intuitive. We can apply conditional formatting in different formats, like we can apply the conditional formatting on the basis of the scores, or we can apply it on the color scale, data bars, or the icon set. To apply the conditional formatting, first we have to select these cells, and then, for example, if I want to highlight the numbers which are greater than 90, then I will go to this conditional formatting, and here I will go to this highlight cell rules and select the greater than, select any value, like I select 90, and select the type of formatting you want, and then click OK. To apply the color scale, again I will select these cells, go to the conditional formatting under the home tab, and then select the color scale. As you can see, we can apply it in different styles. To apply the data bars, I will select these cells, go to the conditional formatting, and this time I will select the data bars. And to set the icon set, I will select these cells, go to the conditional formatting, and this time I will go to the icon set and select any set of icons. Number 5. Where you would use the if function. The if function in Excel is used to perform logical tests and return different values based on whether the condition is true or false. You would use it when you need to make decisions within your data. For example, here you can see that we have the names of students and their scores, and if we want to designate them pass or fail on a certain criteria, we can use the if function. Like here in the formula, we can see that we have written if the result or the marks in the B2 is greater than or equal to 80, then the result should be pass. So I have written pass in inverted commas, then comma, that is for the otherwise. The student should be fail if it fails to meet this criteria. Number 6. How would you remove the duplicates in your duplicates in Excel? You can use the remove duplicate feature. First, we have to select the data that we want to clean, and then we have to go to the data tab, and here I will select this remove duplicate. When I check it, it will ask that on which basis we want to remove the duplicate. So I will check only the name and then click OK. So Excel will notify me that 2 duplicate values have been removed and 5 unique remains. Number 7. How data validation can be used to make. The data validation in Excel can be used to create drop-down list by restricting the input to a predefined list of values. To do this, first we have to select the cell where we want to create the drop-down, and then we have to go to the data tab, and then I will go to the data validation. I will click this data validation, and here in this data validation I have to keep this to the list and then select the source. So I will select these categories as source and then click OK. Now we have the drop down button next to this cell, and I can select the category using this drop down button. Number 8. What is the difference between a sum and a SUMIF function? The sum function in Excel adds up all the numbers in a specified range. The SUMIF function, on the other hand, adds up the number in a range that meet a specified condition. This is an example showing the sales from the different regions, and if I only want to calculate the total sale, I will write equal sum, open the bracket and select all the numbers, close this bracket and press enter. So this is giving me the total sale. But if I only want to get the region wise sale, then in this cell I have to use the SUMIF function, and here you can see that I have written the equal SUMIF. First I have select the range, so this B2 to C7 is my range. Next is the criteria, and the criteria is the region that is provided in this E5 cell. So I have written E5 comma, and next is the sum range, and sum range is given in this sales column. So I will select the sale column from C2 to C7 and then I will press enter. So this is giving me the sales of the west region. If I change using the drop down to the south, it will give me the sales from the south region only. Question number 9. How would you calculate the average sales for the last quarter? To calculate the average sales for the last quarter in Excel, you would first identify the sales data for the last quarter and then we will use the average function. So for this sales data, write equal average and select the sales from the October to November. Close this bracket and hit enter. Average sales for the fourth quarter is calculated. We can also calculate the average sale for the first, second or the third quarter using the same way. Question number 10. What type of chart would better visualize zonal sales for last 5 years? A line chart or a clustered column chart would be ideal for visualizing zonal sales over the last 5 years. A line chart effectively shows trends and changes over time, while a clustered column chart allows for easy comparison for sales across different zones and years. So here in this example, we have the sales data of different zones for the last 5 years. And for this example, I have created this line chart. On the y-axis we have the sales and on the x-axis we have the years, different lines indicating different zones. We can easily compare the sales of different zones using this chart. This type of chart can be created by selecting your data and then go to the insert tab, and here in this region you can select any type of chart that you wanted. Lastly, I would like to pass some tips for your next interview success. The first is practice, practice, practice. The key to success in any interview is practice. Secondly, think about real world scenarios. When answering interview questions, try to relate your answers to the real world situations. This shows that you understand how Excel can be applied practically. And lastly, confidence is the key. Don't be afraid to showcase your skills and knowledge. Believe in yourselves and you will ace the interview. Thank you for watching. If you found this video useful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more tips and tutorials. If you have any questions or need further assistance, feel free to leave a comment below. Happy excelling and see you in the next video.